That is a window module for the front left door of a 2009 Chrysler Town Country Minivan that will hopefully fix my window problem.
Yeah, we're going to find out. She's going to put it in. Now, Liz and I are going to show you the basic techniques and diagnostics with using some simple tools and show you guys how we fixed this thing. But there were a few problems. The moment of truth.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh,
set.
Crap.
Oh!
Now, fear not. Okay, we were able to get through it. And that's why we're going to show you all of these simple tricks, tips, and tools to help you guys out and save a lot of money. Now, I have a lot of experience in doing stuff like this, but we've boiled it down. And, of course, she's a really fast learner and has a lot of great practical knowledge. And we think that, well, if you're just starting out, you should be able to do something. These skills are applicable to a lot of things, other cars, other vehicles, other models like this, and other issues that you may, come across, and you will come across. And if you have some mediocre skills or some decent skills and you'd like to learn a few things, I would watch the whole thing because I think these tips and stuff could definitely help you out. Let's get started. So here's the electrical box right here. It's known often as the power distribution box, and you see all of these relays. My recommendation is get out your glasses and a magnifying glass. That's what we did. And we went through everything in here with some simple tools. And let me show you a couple simple tools. Now, Elizabeth didn't know this, but a lot of people don't, but this is your tool for pulling out fuses. And what we found is that there's a couple of relays that you want to consider. And they'll be on the legend, but there'll be two here, right, which helps to control the window assembly. There's one back here, which is your locks, and you'll see it's a 25 amp, and it is 1, 2, 3, the fourth one down next to this relay here, right above this pink 30 amp. Let me show you this one too, because this supplies power to the whole circuit. Let me bring it in. So it's this one here, but again, you need to check your legend. There's some things that may have changed over the years, and it's probably good for a few years. But this guy right here is a 10 ampere, and it's hot all the time. Not all of them will be, but this one is hot. Let's see, we checked these. That's a circuit breaker. Okay, we checked that. And there's some basic tips. Let me show you the tool I was using. Now, there's no point in me going back over every test. You're going to need to look at this and validate which one. And I'll try to put some kind of notation on this. But the only fuses you care about and relays are the ones that have to do with the power door locks and the power windows. There's a fuse basically for either side. Now, this is kind of neat because this is just very simple, very cheap and easy to get. Clips onto the ground on one end, and then it lights up. So in the case here, we were fooling around over here. I was putting it in, and I was able to get it to light up. And if you kind of stick it in there, you'll see it was trying to come on. See? So it's really simple. And I also recommend going over them and taking out the fuses and inspecting them to make sure that the lands that are in here that the fuses go into, they're the electrical connections, that they're in good shape. If you see any oxidation, you'll have a problem. It may not be connecting properly. So simple test light. I like the bigger one. I want to get a bigger one. It's like a screwdriver, and it's just got a light in it. One end goes to ground, and you're searching for power. To validate, right, a fuse is working, you can check for power with that light on either end of the fuse. You just lift it up a little bit and stick your probe in there, and the light should light. If you really feel like you need to test something a little bit more, this is a simple test meter. I have it on a beep scale. You'll hear it. Always check first. And you can also use it to check voltage. Now let's go take a look at the door. We established that in this situation, starting from here, without a schematic, we established that everything here is good. We cannot find anything wrong in this area, right? So power should be now over by the door, and we're gonna go take a look at that. So now we're at the door, and Elizabeth has gone to the trouble of removing, and I'll show you that in a minute, but removing the screws. that hold this panel on. There's only a few of them. How many hold it on?
There's 2 T20 Torx screws.
That's it?
Yep.
There's one here.
One here, and then one down here in the door handle.
Gotcha. And I'll get you guys a close-up with that in a minute.
And the accessory panel.
Yeah, and there's a little accessory panel over there. So what I did was I showed them the tool. I just lifted this whole thing up.
Pops right out.
Yeah, it pops right out. And then we undid the clip. Really simple. Let me show you. Show them the little lock that you pressed on.
Oh, just a little push button.
Yeah, it comes right out. Now let's take a look at this thing. You see the clips? There's really nothing fancy there, and obviously it goes into this one. There's 3 wires. Now that can be tested separate, but I suspect there's something wrong in the control module, so we're gonna need to go into that. Now let me just get a shot of this. She just pried this off real easy. Yours might be a little stuck, and that's that side panel.
Right here.
Right?
Just popped it off with that.
Yeah. And then the screw here underneath this little flap. The screw there.
This has a cover for it that just popped off with a flathead screwdriver.
Okay. And now let's see if let me back up. Let's see if we can get the door panel off. So just going to try to get underneath, like in between the panels here, especially on the bottom, because this thing's going to lift upward.
Yeah.
I'd say that again.
It would make things so much easier. Why can't there just be some damn screws?
I know, right? That's what winds up happening is I screw them on later. Now this is probably the least technical and most thankless part of the job, right? And most of us wind up screwing these things up, and you'll see screws on it afterwards. But yeah, you're gonna break it. Now here's another way. Take the tool and twist it a little bit. Now it is really on there. Okay, I'm feeling it. And it is, can you see in there? Yeah,
I can, but I don't know what the clips are supposed to look like.
Yeah, until you get one apart. It's not strong enough to do it. All right. I hate to say it, but we need a screwdriver or a bigger flat bar. These are not strong enough. And that one's not going to be strong enough either. Let me tape it up a little bit more. Just so it doesn't scratch so much. And I'm going to find that clip. And here we go. It's almost there. All right. Yep. Does that sound frightening? Oh. Oh. Up it goes. Now there's going to be wires. We're going to need 2 screwdrivers. We have to release these locks. And usually come from here and go up.
Go from underneath.
Yeah. See if you can twist it. You're not going to be able to depress it. Sometimes if you get one, you can start pulling it, it'll free up one lock. Stick both screwdrivers and then pull out.
I don't want to break it.
No, you won't. Even if you did, who cares? There you go.
That's pain.
Now, you see these clips here. The clips are right in here. And so you have to depress and open this up a little bit, depress the locks in order to get it out. Let me put this to the side. Okay, you got a light there. So she's just going to try to depress it.
That's just got a little push button.
A little push button thing. Show them that thing. It's got these little nervules on it. Turn it to the side. Yeah. Okay, that's what you got to kind of get out of the way. And then there's this cable here, which is our door handle. But we might be able to just push this thing out of our way for now, you think?
Yeah.
Ignition on or accessory, and we'll try to trace power back through this circuit, and I can let you know what I find out. The other thing I want to do too is while we're here, we're going to take separate pictures of all of these things, because if she has to order something, we'll have it. And then when we're done, we'll put this panel back lightly. All right, I'm going to get you guys in close in a minute. She's actually holding this long wire here is connected over to the negative side of the battery. And even though it's the negative side, which would be black, okay, because of the clips and everything, it's easier. And my meter can handle reversing the polarities. It's not going to blow up. And because these terminals are so small, I've clipped the other side of the meter, right, to this little poker thing here. So I'm just going to go around and check. If you look over here at our meter, okay, we got nothing. Now I'm going to poke one, and you're going to see something. I'll go over to the meter. You might be able to see it.
Yep.
We got 11. That's that dark green with the brown. And then I'm going to go over to the lighter green. It's almost the same voltage. Okay, and then nothing on the middle wire, which is this orange. Come over here and you'll see. So the orange here. We went from here, we got voltage. We went to here, we got voltage. And in the middle, we got nothing. And so right now we're into the green wire, the dark green wire with the brown. And we have power over here. And she's going to pull, what, M26?
M26.
All right, that's your M26 like I mentioned earlier.
Power window switch and driver window switch.
Okay, power is off. That's this dark green wire with the brown stripe. But if I come over to the lighter green wire, we do have 10 volts. She's gonna put back that fuse, and we're gonna see power return. Yep, power return. We're gonna try the next fuse. It was one of these.
It's J4, it's 25 amp.
This is
Yeah, it gives it a
harder to
pull.
get out.
Yeah,
So I have to take out
yeah.
J5.
So ignition is off right now. So just so you guys know, we don't have accessory on or anything. You always want to start off with checking things from the ignition off position. And then, you turn it on and you do this, repeat this test, because if you don't know what the schematic is, you want to be safe. Some things are live when the car ignition is off and the key is out. She's almost got it. This one was a little tougher to get out.
There we go.
All right, now that once again is what?
J4.
So now we have 12 volts, dark green, brown stripe. We still have the 12 volts. Ignition is off. Let me put you guys down. We're going to move that test lead. So we're working our way through here to the motor. Right, and we still, now I have nothing on the lighter green wire.
Right.
I have nothing.
Right.
Put that fuse back. Yep, now we have 11 volts.
11, okay.
All right, so now we got to think about what that means. Okay, this is the wing window switch. So we don't care about that because that works, right?
It works.
So we know there should be power here, but we're not really concerned with that yet. Remember, fellas and ladies, we're working with these switches. This whole thing does not work. And it's really powered by those 3 terminals. So just to back up, now we're going to think about, we're going to brainstorm and think about what the hell this means. I suggested that we try jumping one out, but maybe we shouldn't do that so fast because we don't know how that switch is set up.
Yeah, plugged
Okay.
in, all the fuses are back in.
Now with the ignition off, I like to start from that point. I've unplugged this connector from the motor, the window motor, and I'm just going to poke around and see if we have power. No. Okay. Then we're going to turn the ignition on to accessories, fine, and we're going to check to see if we have power. This is just a routine test, just so that we know what we have in our hand. Now, ignition module off. We're going to plug the controller in. And obviously with everything off, right? Everything's off.
Yep.
And you're going to apply the switch to make this motor drive. And I'm going to check for power. All right, you good?
Yeah.
I'm getting nothing. I'm in the DC scale, and I'm not getting anything. Switch is engaged, right? Now, we're going to bypass the meter, and we're going to go to that light, just to show you, to make things simpler. So remember, this red wire, it's not positive, it's actually our ground from the battery. This way I know I have a good ground. I'm going to come back to here and poke around, keeping that switch on. Okay, so I'm not getting anything. This motor is not getting power. So that leaves us with the only logical conclusion is there's something wrong in this module. And I can talk about that a little bit later, but we would have to suspect at this point, we should see power here. This is connected. We know there's some kind of power here. This is new. All right, that's suspect. This is what the connector looks like that goes to the power motor, the window motor. Some people call it a regulator, but it's not. This is actually the regulator. It regulates all the stuff that goes on inside of here. And you can see, you got your power windows up here. We've got some other things that it's connected to. We do see power coming in. It's at the door.
There's power in the door. The locks work.
Locks work. That module, that control, what did you call it? The control module, what was it?
Window control module.
That we have no idea what the pinouts are or how to test it, other than
Buy a new one. But we had to take the door apart to figure out which one to get.
we're back.
We're back.
What'd you find?
A window module.
Nice. Yeah, let me shove it into the camera.
Shove it in the camera.
Check this out. Tell them about it.
That is a window module for the front left door of a 2009 Chrysler Town Country Minivan that will hopefully fix my window problem.
Yeah, we're going to find out. She's going to put it in. It's used, right?
It is used but verified tested from eBay, about $65.
All right, she's going to pull all those screws out. Well, all of them. The two.
All two of them.
Two.
Standard delivery.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Wait, it was a couple, what was it, like last week or something we were fooling around with this thing?
It was last weekend.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's going to be hot.
All right, plug it in. Let's find out. Doesn't smell like it's burnt. As long as it doesn't go on fire. Moment of truth is coming. Ooh, let me get my coffee.
So I'd really like this window to go down.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice.
The moment of truth.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh,
Set.
crap.
Oh!
Now, it is used, and it is supposedly tested. These things get expensive.
Yeah, brand new, it's about $200, I think. And that's just a little bit out of my price range.
Yeah. And it's getting hot.
It's getting hot.
Like, we have a little reprieve. It's a little late in the day, and it's nice out, and she's already loaded up in the back. So we're going to go outside, and I'm going to be the camera person for the day, and a little assistant.
I'm going to take the door apart.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah. And I think it'll work out really well. But, use tested parts. I mean, in the world of electronics, a lot of us get scared. Oh, my God. No. The ignition on?
Yeah.
But when you consider the price difference, it might be worth a shot. Now, to add to that, you say, well, if you go with a factory part, this is a factory use part, but if you go, let's say you try to get a factory part, you're going to spend a lot of money for it. And they're tested and all that, and there's good quality there usually. The other option is a new knockoff, which that's going to be a little cheaper than a factory part, a little bit more expensive than this.
I have them in the right spot.
In my experience, they're usually okay, but
Not as reliable.
yeah. Oh my goodness! Wow, that was a tension builder, huh? We did not do that on purpose. We're gonna find out.
Let's hope.
See you guys in a minute. Let's take a look at that.
My mirrors don't work.
Yeah, I see that.
This is the only one I didn't pull back out and reset, so...
Yeah, make sure they snap when they go in.
They don't really snap, that's the thing.
So you always want to look for, when you put your wires back or when you go to take the panel off, look for anything that might have been rubbing. Keep in mind that somebody else could have done this before you and made a mistake, had a wire rubbing against something. That's part of the general diagnostic procedure, is to look for breaks in the wire. Now down here, what we noticed was some possible pinching, and the way it lays on that substrate, this right here, it almost looks like a razor blade. But you see, anything here could be suspect. This is where the power comes in. Turn a little light on. Into the door, out of essentially the fuse box and the ignition switch. And one needs to consider that an ignition switch is always a potential problem, which is why we were trying to make sure. Notice that this looks a little bit messed up. Can you guys see that? I'm not sure what's going on with that. It looks like there was a little tape or something on there. but it catches your eye. So anything that might catch our eye. And of course, when you go to put this back on, and after the whole panel's back on again, obviously you're going to retest it, right? Well, if there's a loose wire or a loose connection, that's kind of when you're going to find out. So testing it like this, then obviously testing it again. If you suddenly find that you have a problem again, it's because something in here is not making good contact, if that were to happen at this point.
There we go.
All right.
Get the ear side. There we go.
I'm very close.
There it is.
It's in.
Wow, I'm so white you can't even see me. Same.
I'm keeping that. It's bad connection like I thought. All right, so now it's not working again.
Now it's down.
I know. Turn your ignition on and off. Yeah, so this can happen.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, just pull this piece up.
Where the hell did you get them from? Wish?
Well, the original. What's that other one? Temu? So we went to Temu and we got
Amazon.
yeah, and Scamazon.
This is funny. Oh.
Oh, the buttons came out. Show the camera. Isn't that nice?
Oh, good old Chrysler.
Yeah. So, did we have this last time? Because I had asked you about it. You didn't have
I found it.
This piece here, you're not sure where you got it from at this point?
This
Yeah.
is the original.
Okay, that's the original.
Chrysler label.
And that one there. So it could be a bad connection in something.
See, it just stopped.
Yeah.
Oh. I feel like it's this piece.
Could be the switch itself.
And now it won't go back. Oh.
Yeah. How broken is this one?
I got a new one because this was my first. It was cheap. It was $20-something, and I figured it's the cheapest thing.
That one, you mean?
Cheap. Yes. Well, I replaced
Yeah.
this piece. This is the original.
Right.
So let me just replace this because it's the thing that's not working.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
It's easy to do.
But the buttons, you saw the buttons. They're
Yeah.
broken. They're just.
Yeah.
They come right off because they're shitty. And
So this guy here, yeah, plug that back in and fool around. So obviously this is a replacement part. Again, a no-name potential. We didn't have the original one last time, and this could be causing a problem. I would think it is. How long have you had this piece?
couple of months. It's never worked.
Really?
No, because the window stopped going down, so I replaced that first. That didn't work. I checked all the fuses. All of the fuses were fine.
Right.
And then I said, screw it, it's winter, I don't need to put the window down.
Right. So what she's saying, not that this has never worked, it's that this system was not working. She replaced this. Didn't really solve the problem. So this has no real use on it. So we had no way of knowing if this was any good or not.
No. So it's not like I could hook it up to a different door.
It doesn't really go over there.
I will deal with the buttons popping off as long as my window goes down. Little concessions, right?
Yeah, I know.
But I am curious.
Yes. Wow. All right. What you just did is the little side mirror is working.
Oh, wait. It's the connector. Look. You see the green light?
Yeah. Oh, let me show that on the other camera. Hold on, let me get this camera.
My button. See? Lights are on.
She's jiggling it. Hey, see what it's doing? See? Should not be doing that. Now we're going to go in and look at that connector. Yep. All right, let's go in and look at that connector. Okay. All right, step one. They make electrical cleaner, but brake cleaner is very similar.
Kill spiders too.
Yes, it does. And they make two versions, the flammable and the non-flammable. So I'm just going to go in there. You don't want to use gum out. All right, that's good enough. Our worry is that you don't want to melt the plastic.
Don't melt the
We don't know the plastic. We don't know what will melt it. Even sometimes brake cleaner can damage it, but I've had pretty good luck with that. So I did it quick, and then I blew it out with an air hose. We got one more trick. Now, you may not have something like this. This is it's known as Aluma Bright. It's a brand name. We use it in welding for aluminum, to clean aluminum so we can weld it. And I just have some in here. But vinegar will work. And the problem with a lot of these old vehicles, as they age, like
now,
me.
For us novices, aren't you not supposed to put liquids like that on?
Yeah, turn your ignition off too, by the way. Good point she made. Now, this is an acid. It's very light. You can also use lemon juice, vinegar. They have light acids in them, and they will clean the contacts. I used the brake cleaner first because it will remove any grease or debris. I blew it out with the airline. Acids will not really work if there's any deposits of dirt or grease or anything like that, or silicones. It'd take too long. So first cleaning, second cleaning is I'll let that acid sit. If you look how fine all of this is in here, we could stick picks in. I mean, you're not going to get anything mechanical in there to clean the contact. Could the contact be fatigued? Yes. There are usually little tangs. They grip on these little pins, and I'll get the little pin. So these are very small pins, and they're so small. They're like literally the size of a pin. These little contacts. Now this is new, so this shouldn't be dirty or anything like that. So we're not going to say that this needs to be cleaned. I don't think there's any point to that, but this would be. This could potentially be dirty and oxidized. Remember, it's in a door that effectively is on the outside of the car for all intents and purposes. Let me give that 5 minutes or so. We'll come back. I'll blow it clean, and we can throw maybe a little WD-40 or something. Your first shot might be just trying a WD-40, but if you're going to use an acid, you're going to have to remove the WD-40 because it's an oil. Let's give it a few minutes, and we'll come back and we'll retest. That's been a while, right? We disappeared for, well, the longer the better, but if it dries, it dries. Now, as Liz mentioned, water and electrical stuff, yes, but I've been doing this a long time. Next thing we want to check is any of the wires here. Make sure they're pushed in and they don't just pop out. And hopefully they don't, because that's microsurgery. That feels good. Now, we're going to follow up with a little bit of WD, and that should neutralize any of the acid. Again, it's weak acid.
Now that is the new one.
Yeah, this is the one that's new and very questionable.
Right.
All right, now let's see. This one?
Yep, down. Down.
Oh.
You've got to be kidding me.
It's right here. It's something in this. Now, the next thing I'm going to try, I'm going to actually take something and just spread these connectors out a little bit. Just kind of tweak them a little bit. So I'm going to do that off camera. One's a little skewed. It may not be hitting right.
Looks like it's that one on the left.
Yeah, exactly. The good news is that if this one we decide that it's just trash, she throws it in the trash. Okay, so I'll be right back. Stand by. Let me just poke at that. A little screwdriver or something. There it goes. Now that's on.
So it's still the connector.
Yeah.
If you hook it up to the old one, you should be able to see the light because that button comes off. And
I saw that. All right, so what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm trying to get the flashlight to zoom.
All right, while she does that, so on top of this connector is this little white piece. It's got some locks on the side. All right. So I used my little dental picks and I managed to free the lock out. And that reveals us here to this little connector where you can see a little bit. Now the two connectors that we're looking at right here, predominantly I can see them on the far left and on the right, but there's one in the middle we really can't see. And I think it's because it's dirty or something's not right with it. And this is one of the problems that you can find, again, with basic diagnostics. That's probably preventing it from working properly. We could cut this off and put another connector on, which we don't have. Or I can go in there with this little pick and try to see if I can, with the magnifying glass, if I can do something that will make this work and be stable again. So we'll talk about it a bit. This is an abrasive compound on a little stick, all right? Because I can't really get a piece of sandpaper in there. It's an abrasive compound we use for lapping valves, and I'm just going to put a little bit on here. It's actually a touch of toothpaste, and it was wetter. I'm going to work it into that connector, back and forth, up and down, and then we'll have to blow it out, clean it out with some WD or something like that. Let's take a look. Let's see if this works. There's something not right in this connector, and I can see it more now. See, it kind of fits. If I can get that in there, can I use a piece of sandpaper? I don't know if I'll get a piece of sandpaper in here. And we're just gonna have to spend a little bit of time. Can I take this thing out? Yeah, maybe with one of those little picks I might be able to. I'm gonna try this first. You wanna try like the least invasive modality. I'll just sort of pack that in there a little bit. We'll get it out. We got compressed air. The other thing too is you can connect it and disconnect it a bunch of times as well. Now that I got some in there, I'm just going to keep working it. And I'd like to see if I can pick at it and lift it up to make a more secure physical connection.
Can't you just push the wire in from the bottom?
What do you mean?
Push the wire in more.
What does it mean?
From the bottom. Push.
With this?
Yes.
This has got a little lock on it.
Oh.
What keeps this from pulling out is this tiny little lock. It's just a little wisp of material. And if I break that, if the connector was bigger, I would be more ambitious because I've had connectors apart before. But this one's so damn small. All right, we'll see you guys in a minute. She's backing away.
Slowly back away.
Now you can see it. And it's like almost like these little nervules that stick up on the top. And I think it bent in too a little bit. And I feel like there's little bits of plastic or something. It could have gotten hot. And I think I said very early on, I'm like, there's awfully small contacts and wires for moving the motor. Must be a relay or something around here. Otherwise, why would you do that? All right, let's find out. Okay, while she does her nails.
I broke a nail.
Yeah, she broke a nail
Fix
because she's diagnosing this. We really don't know what we're doing.
Not at all.
Not at all. We have no idea. None whatsoever. We tried. This is the original one. See that one there? And just to confirm, you guys see the lights? And what she did was she unplugged the one that we installed, left it screwed in, plugged it into the one that she originally had. No lights. All right, and plugged it back in and we're okay. Now this is the original shifter.
Control.
Such a shit.
So we're getting tired. All right, we're gonna put the door panel back and we'll show you about what we did here right before we close up and then we're getting out of here. All right, we're shot.
We're shot.
We're done. It's dark. See the darkness in the back? We've been out there for a while. Then the car wouldn't start. Oh, it definitely works. 13 volts. That's good. 13.5 would be better.
But the window goes down.
Yeah, it does. It definitely goes down. We covered a lot. So this is really it's not really a how to fix a window, because you see there's different problems going on here. It's a diagnostic on how to sort of approach a diagnostic, the basic skills that you would need, and a little bit of shotgunning because you bought a part. That part was required because we just tested the old one.
Yes.
And it didn't work.
No.
Notice one thing leads to another, and you might be thinking, all I want to do is make my window go up. Yeah.
Down. I want it down.
Up and down.
Up and down.
Not left and right, though. It's not one of those.
No.
It's still not 100% fixed. I don't think we shot that part. We forgot to shoot it.
We did not.
We did not.
We hot glued the connector for the window control because the wires were finicky and only worked when they laid a certain direction.
Yeah. So she came up with an idea to fold the wires over in the direction that it needed, held it there with a fancy bit of rubber banding.
Gotta love rubber bands.
And then I came back with the hot glue, and we were going to shoot it, and I don't know, it's just the car wouldn't start. Everything is just, we're getting tired, and before we start screwing up, we must have left that shot out. But that is a solution for now. Something's not right with that connector. Both of those switches, the old one, and stupidly because we could see the, yeah.
We glued the old one in.
Because we could see the lights.
I'm not picky. It
Yeah.
works.
So if we can, in our hunt, find a way to replace that connector. Now, you could cut it out of a junky door. If it's in good shape, we would have no idea if it was good until we wired it in. It's easy to get to. We don't have to take the whole door apart to fix that if we get another connector. I can splice it in.
Just pop it out.
So we had a T20 Torx. We had this big flapper bar, which I would recommend because
Definitely.
this totally made it easy for us to open up, pull the door panel off.
Multiple times.
A basic voltmeter, which you saw, which is outside, we were just using. Actually, no, you just put it away for me. Thank
away.
you. Very little cost.
Yeah, I mean, all said, it was $65 for the module, approximately, and a lot of time.
Yeah. This little connector pack might be for sale somewhere, and I can splice it in, and then she can put the thing back, and we're good to go. And we're done. When and if that happens, it's not going to be on this video. See you guys in the next one or some other one.